morning, everybody. My name is Grant Bennett. I'm the superintendent for the Perris Union High School District, and I want to welcome you to the April Student of the Month program. You probably noticed I'm not Sally Myers. She usually hosts this, does a much better job than I do, but I'm who you got today. Our heart goes out to Sally. Her dad passed away a week or so ago, and she's dealing with getting all the arrangements made, so she couldn't be here today. But she does send her best to everybody here. We send our best to her and her family at this time. At this time, I'd like to introduce Cameron Stevens from Student Venture to lead us in prayer, and ask Councilwoman Lisa Sobek to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, everybody. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this morning. Lord God, we thank you for the beautiful weather outside. Thank you for this opportunity this morning to be here, to gather as a community, to surround these kids who have worked so hard, so diligently on their schoolwork, and to get to this point in their educational career, Lord God, where you are now challenging them and equipping them to go beyond high school and go out into the world and do great things. Father, we pray a special prayer over them as they make the decisions that for their future, on where they're going to go to school, what they're going to do. And Father God, I pray that you just give them the wisdom and discernment they need to make the best decisions possible that is going to have the greatest impact on those around them, to show love and grace to the world and the people that you put in their path. Father, we do think of Sally this morning and pray for her family. Pray, Father, that you would just bless them, give them the peace that can only come from you. We love her and thank you for her in the establishment of this program, and just pray, Lord God, that you would bless them in this time. Thank you for this morning again, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please join me in pledging our United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Maybe you may take your seats again. Thank you. Well, Sally founded the Student of the Month program in 1998 here in Perris, in the Perris version. She started earlier in Temecula-Murrieta area. So this is the 19th, finishing our 19th year. 1998 would make this our 20th year. Make a correction. Our 20th year Student of the Month program. It's been such a great program over the years. I was actually here the very first one we had in Perris. I was sitting in Malcolm's seat. I was a teacher back then. I got to present the first student from Perris High School as a Student of the Month. So I've been around a long time, I guess. I was a lot younger than I had dark hair like Malcolm back then. The Student of the Month program is a local high school recognition program supported by the community to acknowledge and honor students who are looking at college, vocational, or trade schools. Students for their character, their love of learning, commitment to academics, participation in athletics, school activities, community service, or their ability to persevere and overcome difficult life circumstances in a setting that honors God, country, family, community, and free enterprise. That's the mantra of the Student of the Month program. I'd like to introduce some people to start with to lead us off. I'd like to introduce Gigi Carling and Erica Ocampo from the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce, and Tim Moore from the Perris Valley Chamber of Commerce come up and say a few words for us.
Good morning, everybody. What an honor to be here and celebrate with you all such extraordinary achievements. On behalf of the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce, we wish you much continued success and congratulate you for these amazing achievements. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Tim Moore. I'm on the Chamber Board, Executive Board of Perris, for the Chamber of Commerce. I'm also Post Commander of Veterans War Wars in the city of Perris. We'd like to congratulate all you students that made it this far. It's a rough road to take. I've stood up here all this year and part of last year, look out at everybody that was here. And I hope to see some of you back here in this city to help support it in the years to come after you get out of college and move on with your life and do a lot better things. Congratulations.
The chamber has also supplied each student with a certificate to honor you for your accomplishments, signed by both representatives of the Joint Chambers of Commerce, Perris and But before I go much further, I want to thank some of our volunteers that are here today. Volunteers from the chairs of the program are from the Perris Union High School District. Sarah Rico and Lori Ortel, where are they at? They're in the back there. Thank you, ladies. I'm supposed to thank myself for emceeing, but I don't think I'm doing that. It's my job, right? Part of what I have to do, but I love doing also. I want to introduce some of our meal sponsors. This event doesn't come off just for free. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of effort by people to make this happen. And we truly appreciate the sponsors that help put this on each month for our Students of the Month. And this is our final Student of the Month of this school year. We still have the Student of the Year program to come up. This is the final Student of the Month for the 2017-18 school year. I'd like to introduce from Altura Credit Union, Karina Kokolitsi. Thank you, Karina, for being here this morning. We appreciate your support. I'm challenged with the names this morning, aren't I? Azusa Pacific University, Naticelli Rodriguez. Over here on the left. Thank you, Naticelli. From the City of Menifee, Councilwoman Lisa Sobek. Thank you, Lisa Sobek. From the City of Perris, we have Councilman Malcolm Corona and Judy Honey from the, what do you do over there now, Judy? Oh, gotta have that on the list.
This is our city clerk, Nancy Salazar.
Nancy Salazar is city clerk, and Judy's kind of like an assistant city clerk over at the City of Perris. Sorry about that. Where's Sally? I need Sally back, please. From County Supervisor Marion Ashley's office, Amber Smalley. Thank you, Amber, for being here this morning. From EMWD, Malia Ortloff. Thank you, Malia, for being here. From Mount San Jacinto Community College, Leticia Munoz and Adriana Agda. Thank you for being here, ladies. We appreciate your support. From the Perris Union High School District, I'm here. Lori Ortel and Sarah Rico. Deputy Superintendent of Business Services, Candace Rains, and Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Marilyn Salcedo. From the Riverside County Office of Education, we have Annette DeMont, here representing Dr. Judy White. Thank you for being here. From the Rotary Club of Perris, Mike Behrens in the back. Thank you, Mike, for being here. From Star Millen, we have Bill Kramer. Thank you, Bill, for being here. It's been a long time sponsor of this. We appreciate, those are some of the people. We have others that aren't here today that also help support, but you wouldn't be able to come and have such a great breakfast and a great venue without the support of our community. Then the next thing for the students is, I talked about the Student of the Year program. That's coming up in the end of April or beginning of May sometime. I can't remember the exact date. But it's an application process. It's a competitive scholarship program. Right now, we have a whole bunch of donors that have given money towards the scholarships, and we appreciate them, and we want to recognize them this morning. But what will happen is you'll fill out an application. It'll be read by a committee of people. They'll check if you did your thank you cards, which we'll talk about later. And it's a great opportunity for you to earn a scholarship through this program. And then there's only 9 students of the month each year from the schools, and from Perris Lake it's 4 or 5. But you're competing against the other students at your school, so I think most scholarships you apply for, there's hundreds of people applying. This is only 8 or 9 people. So it's a great opportunity, and I want to recognize the people here that have donated. From EMWD, Malia Ortloff again. Thank you, Malia. From Les Schwab Tires here in Perris, Brady LeBlanc. Thank you, Brady. Brady's one of our new sponsors this year, has jumped in full force. Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce, Erica Ocampo and Gigi Carling. Thank you again, ladies. On the left. Mount San Jacinto Community College, Leticia Munoz and Adriana Magda. Thank you for helping sponsor the scholarships. Perris Union Management Association, that's the administrators within the school district. Our president, Nick Newkirk, is here. Thank you, Nick. We do one fund, I'm part of Puma, we call it Puma, Perris Union Management, so I'm part of Puma. We have our one big fundraising drive this Saturday, it's our golf tournament. And then we raise money to give, all we do is raise money to give scholarships. Part of it goes here and part of it goes to, we give out individual scholarships at the school sites also. From Riverside County Office of Education, Annette Dumont. Here, thank you again for that. And again, the Rotary Club of Perris, Mike Behrens, thank you, Mike. And again, from Star Mill and Bill Kramer, thank you for your support. So those are our scholarship sponsors, really appreciate them. Then there'll also be some extra special gifts that are given that day. From Swedish Speed and Champion Towing, you'll get an engraved pen in your school colors. From Costco in Lake Elsinore, they'll give you a special prize. From CR&R here in town, they'll give you a special prize also, and you'll get another beautiful gift bag. At this time, we have some dignitaries here, and they like to come and present awards to each of the students, and it's always a wonderful time, and I want to introduce them to come up and give those, show what they brought to give to each student. And I'm going to do it in order, so you have to remember the order that you're coming up. So that's a test for our elected officials, representatives, or elected officials in a couple of cases. From the city of Perris, Councilman Malcolm Corona. So you can come up and see Sarah, head over that way. From the city of Menifee, Councilwoman Lisa Sobek. From Senator Mike Morell's office, Heather Perry. From Senator Richard Roth's office, Alton Holcomb. From County Supervisor Marion Ashley's office, Amber Smalley. From Riverside County Office of Education, Annette Dumont. So if I could, did I miss anybody? Tiffany? Is that Tiffany? Okay, I'm sorry, I did miss that, I'm sorry. Caitlin Wilkinson from Assemblywoman Melissa Mendez's office. So Mr. Corona, you're up, you're batting leadoff.
All right, so I'm from the city of Perris. I'm Councilman Malcolm Corona. You know what, it's kind of a bit surreal for me here. You know, this is my second time nominating a student. And then, so I get to come back. I'm also a teacher at Perris High School. But a fun fact, I was actually the April student of the month of class of 2014. No, I'm sorry. Class of 2003. So it's kind of good to be back here. You know, it's something I still remember. One clear thing I do remember though was that I can't remember who it was. But the gentleman said, go off, do great things, but make sure you come back to your own community. So I really urge all those very successful students to go off, do some great things, but then try to find a way to come back. So but on behalf of the mayor, city council, city clerk, and the entire city of Perris, we would like to extend our sincerest congratulations to you and your families for your outstanding accomplishments and present you with this certificate of achievement signed by our mayor and city clerk, and congratulations. And I believe we also have a goodie bag for you guys as well too, for the city of Perris. Thank you.
So good morning. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've been able to attend this a few times, and again, like Councilman Corona said, he was here. But I actually had a daughter that received this award in 2001 from Paloma Valley High School, so I got to come as a parent. But now as an elected official, it is such, I just really want you to know, it is such a pleasure to be able to come here and see the youth and their families and their educators who've been such an important part of your lives, and to see the accomplishments that you have made. In the city of Menifee, we have a new slogan, new, better, best. And I was thinking of that and wanted to make it personal to you, that you are going to be leaving high school and you're going to experience new experiences. And I hope that you will look at the better choices that you can make, and then be the best that you can be, and come back and make a difference. Make a difference wherever you're at. Our society needs people to be kind,
We need people that are leaders. We need people that are honest and have integrity and are grateful. So come back and do those things and just be the best you can be. And I wish you all the best. On behalf of the Menifee City Council, we present you with a certificate of achievement for all that you've done to get here and for all that you're going to do. And we have a goodie bag for you as well today, so congratulations.
Well, good morning, everyone. On behalf of Senator Richard Roth, it is my honor to present certificates of recognition to all of today's honorees. We'd like to honor and say thank you to all the parents, educators, and teachers who poured into the lives of these young educational stars, and we wish you the very best of success going forward. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Riverside County Supervisor Marion Ashley's office, we would like to congratulate you for receiving the Student of the Month award. We really encourage you guys to finish off this year strong, since this is the last Student of the Month before the Student of the Year dinner, and we just wish you the best of success and for your futures. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm here on behalf of State Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, and we also have a certificate of recognition for each of you students. And just want to give a warm congratulations to each of you students for working so hard and getting where you're at. I have a friend who told me a quote. It's the difficult I can do now, the impossible just takes a little longer. So hopefully each of you students remember that as you're going through college and just through your different futures. So again, on behalf of State Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, congratulations.
Good morning. To begin with, I'd like to thank Sally Myers and the Student of the Month for Perris and Menifee Valleys for inviting me to join in the celebration this morning. It's truly a privilege to be here today on behalf of Riverside County Office of Education and Dr. Judy White, the Superintendent of Schools. I'd like to congratulate Caitlin, Wendy, Evelyn, and Connor for your remarkable achievement for being Students of the Month for your respective schools. You've all worked very hard and earned admiration and respect of your teachers, principals, and fellow students. The Riverside County Office of Education is hoping you will continue your success in education and move forward to achieving your long-term dreams and goals. We also hope that you will return to Perris and Menifee Valleys and start businesses, become teachers, community leaders, and make this area of Southern California more prosperous and successful due to your involvement and participation in the community. I will hear this morning, how proud your teachers and educators and parents are of your hard work, and your futures are so bright. You've started an important journey of preparation for a wonderful future. I hope you'll move forward with your preparation, because there's a very wise saying that success happens when preparation meets opportunity. Opportunity is out there waiting for you. Be ready for it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Well, I'm batting two first and second today. Assemblyman Jose Medina sends a certificate of recognition for each of the students. Also, he's a representative, couldn't be here today, so I'll make sure that the students knew that he was sending his support also. Now I'm changing hats back to now I'm representing the Perris Union High School District. You're going to get a gift bag, and I'm going to talk about those in a few minutes. There's a lot of good goodies in there. There's a lot of people, like we talked about the sponsors and stuff that put this on. So you're going to get an opportunity, and that's to send out thank you cards to all the sponsors and the elected officials for helping support this great program. So there's a whole big stack of them here. You're probably going, how do I know who to send them to, right? Well, let me see what I have down here. I have a 3-page list with their addresses and everything on there for you, so it'll make it easy for you. Now these are, thank you notes are handwritten notes, right? You don't get to take your Chromebook and go do a Google Doc and then print out 40 copies and paste it in there. It's a handwritten note to each of those people, so. Now, we don't want to burden the family with the cost of sending those out, because it's, what, 50 cents a letter now to send out something? You fill out the thank you cards, give them to your principal, and we'll take care of covering the cost and mailing those out for you. But we want to make sure we do those because the sponsors look forward to seeing those notes coming back in from the students, and we want them to come back and keep supporting the program in the future. Now, I heard Councilman Corona say he was Student of the Month in 2003.
Yeah.
I screwed up and gave you the Student of the Month
You
back
did.
then? Oh my goodness. I was principal at Perris High at the time when Mr. Corona was selected. So I talked about the gift bags. You'll see there's a sample up here. And there's a ton of things in there, and we want to make sure we recognize the people that gave us those prizes for the gift bag. I'm going to go through them fairly quickly. Altura Credit Union has a spiral notebook in there. The City of Menifee has a water bottle, a key ring, a pin, a lanyard, a pedometer, so you can check out how far you're walking when you go to college, a bag and a mug. The City of Perris has a pen, a city medallion, a jump rope so you can work your way across campus with your pedometer, sunglasses, a stress ball because you won't have any of that going to college, and a rubber bracelet. The thank you notes were supplied by Jerry Mullen at Creative Printing. EMWD has sunglasses, mints, and lip balm in there for you. New Life Fellowship, Pastor Ted Norton has a Bible for you today. The Perris Valley Chamber of Commerce, VFW, has a $50 gift check for you from Commander Tim Moore. I missed something else at the City of Menifee. Added some other new stuff in there today. They have a sports clips coupon so you can get your hair cut, and some tickets to the Lake Elsinore Storm also. Reflections Christian Fellowship, Pastor Don Meinberg has a Bible promise book for you. The comprehensive high schools, you'll get a prom ticket. You get one prom ticket, so if you're having a date, they have to spring for their own ticket, or you have to kick it in for that. I believe Perris Lake's doing a grad night ticket for you to go to grad night. The Sizzler Restaurant, Sally Myers, has gift certificates to come back and eat again. The Perris High School District, we have movie tickets in there, we have the postage, we have thank you cards, and also this is going to be burned onto a DVD, and you'll get a copy of this to keep forever, so you can brag to your brothers and sisters how well you did and the awards you got. So we're to the good part now. I can quit babbling here in a minute, and we're going to be to where we get to hear from about our students and from our students. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to introduce the first school to come up, and it's going to go the order that's on the agenda for you. The principal will come up and speak for about a minute. Then we'll have the teacher speak about the student for a little bit, a couple minutes. Then the student gets to talk. And then one family member gets to talk also, gets the opportunity to talk. So as you come up, it'll be the principal here, the student next to him, and their family next to him, and then the teacher on this side. But what we like is we want the students to introduce their family and talk about where they're going to go to school. There's some key questions we'd like you to answer one of them. Those questions are, what do you believe is your greatest contribution to your community, school, or family? Or what do you think is the most significant life lesson you'll take with you to college? Or the third one is, how do you plan on giving back to our community or paying it forward? And the final one you could choose to is share a personal story that demonstrates an obstacle that you have overcome. With that, I want to get us started out with Heritage High School and Principal Frank Arce.
Good morning. Did you hear that resounding?
That was good. Yeah, it's just like a staff meeting.
All right, so I'd like to introduce our student of the month, Caitlin Thomas. Caitlin, you guys, is an amazing student athlete. She's very actively involved in aquatics and holds multiple league records in swim. She is our first CIF state qualifier, and we're excited to inform you that she will be going on a full ride scholarship to Concordia in Irvine. As a parent, As a parent of high school students who are also actively involved in sports, I know firsthand that the that's a dream that only a few and the very best accomplish. So we're very proud of her for that. She is a true scholar athlete. She has a 4.08 cumulative GPA. She's also an all-around great person with an awesome personality. She's quite the character, lots of fun to talk to, very funny, great person. I'd like to introduce you, chat with you a little bit more about her. One of the very best teachers we have at Heritage High School, Mr. Tommy LaRochelle.
It's all right. Good morning. Many teachers nominated Caitlin for this award for very different reasons, but she asked that I come and speak because I think I know her pretty well. She sits in the front row, and she likes to ask clarifying questions often. And she has this very mature way of doing it, but it really makes you want to be a better teacher. Let me take it back though. Back last year when she, as a junior, she was on the junior honor guard. She was one of the top 10 GPAs on campus, and I teach AP language, which is a class for juniors. So normally, which is like the high English class, I should say, for juniors. So normally most of the honor guard is in my class, but there was this one student who wasn't in the class, so I had her take the picture of us. And it was Caitlin, and I'm like, why don't you? She goes, I don't like English. And I'm like, so that's why you're not in AP? She goes, I don't like English. So fast forward a few months, and she ends up in my CSU expository class. And on the first day or second day of school, she hands me a calendar. And she goes, this is when I'm going to be gone. I said, what? She goes, yeah, I have recruiting trips pretty much every week for the next 2-3 months. And she hands me a calendar, and she goes, I would like to have my work and everything. And she would do her work on planes, in cars, making sure she had it before it turned in, before she left on her recruitment trips. After the recruitment trips, they were handed to me. I mean, it was this maturity that you don't usually see from a student. And then I watched her grades, and I'm like, you're not bad at English. But she understood that with sports and with her other academics, you can't take all high AP classes, which is that maturity. That maturity to understand that you put your best out for what you can do instead of cutting yourself short by trying to do too much. She is extremely responsible. She is beyond high school already. She'll do fine in college. Congratulations on your scholarship. Congratulations on everything that you've done in high school. This award is well deserved. So, Caitlin.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at speeches, but thank you for that, both of you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Caitlin Thomas, and I would like to start off by saying thank you to first my mother and my sister for waking up early on their day off and coming here with me, as well as my teacher for not only nominating me, but taking a couple hours out of his busy schedule to be here. And lastly, my principal, Mr. Arce, and Heritage High School for naming me as their April Student of the Month, which was ironically the same month as my birthday. Thank you. This morning I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about one of the most important aspects of my life, which has been swimming. I began swimming competitively at the age of 5, and since then I've never taken more than a week or two off. It has become part of my daily routine. As a kid, your parents usually throw you into sports hoping that you'll make a couple of good friends, and practices aren't really taken too seriously because, I mean, why would they? But somehow I found a passion for it. Sorry. From 5 years old until I was 10, I consistently swam best times and even held a national record for a short while until I plateaued. It seemed as if years went by before I saw any improvement, and mentally it destroyed me. Many people go through the same struggle, whether it be in a sport, a subject in school, or life in general, where you put so much work and effort into something and never see the results that you want. But somehow you have to keep pushing and fighting. Months went by, and it seemed as if I was finally getting closer to accomplishing my goals. They seemed as if they were within an arm's reach. However, they were soon ripped out of my hands by physical problems that I still deal with to this day. From the 30-degree curve in my spine to my knee dislocating when performing certain movements, I not only had to become physically strong, but also mentally. After months of physical therapy and chiropractic sessions and putting all of my efforts into not only swimming but also my education, I have now seen the results and accomplished many goals that I had once only dreamed of. And on that note, I am now pleased to say that I will be attending Concordia University in Irvine in the fall on a full ride athletic and academic scholarship to study physical therapy. If I have learned anything these last 18 years, it is that you have to take everything that life throws at you and to never let it break down your character. Every person goes through their fair share of lows. Obstacles don't have to stop you, Michael Jordan once said. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Lastly, I would like to thank the sponsors for their generosity and for being a small part of something huge. This is one event that I will remember forever. Thank you.
You did a great job, Caitlin. Very mature. You're an awesome student, and you're an inspiration to us all. So, great job. Now, from Perris Lake High School, I'd like to introduce Mr. Dean Hauser.
Caitlin and I was a swimmer at one time. When they took away that floating board and the fins, that was enough for me, man. Congratulations on that scholarship. Wendy Alvarez is our student of the month. And there are lots of things I could say, but I'm going to let Mr. Newton and Wendy say some of those things, or I'll steal the spotlight from them. I don't want to do that. But in the last week, I've told her she's our valedictorian. On Monday night, she was awarded at the Top Scholar Awards for Riverside County of Education for our district. And today, she's our student of the month. So pretty good week for Wendy Alvarez. So I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Newton talk about this wonderful young lady. She is a quiet fighter, and you'll know that when she tells you a little bit about her story. Mr. Newton?
First off, I'm honored to be able to stand up here and present Wendy to you guys as our student of the month. When I was going through all the different thoughts or words I could attach to Wendy, which are already attached to who she is as a person, some of those would be a committed student, a committed person, respectful, organized, caring, great sense of humor, wise for her age, and those are just to name a few. She was my best TA, and she wasn't officially my TA. She's always coming to class, not only ready to finish her academics, but to help me in any way that I might need help. Always came joyful, even going through hardships this year. She always came to class focused and awesome young lady. But it dawned on me when I was going through these different terms for who Wendy is, that this isn't my award for her. This award was our campus was giving it to her. So I thought, well, instead of me just giving her praises, let's see what some of the others that voted for Wendy to be our honor student this month would say. One of our teachers said, Wendy is a very bright, caring young lady that possesses the characteristics, traits of integrity, commitment, and excellence. Wendy is a dedicated daughter to her mother and provides inspiration to others by being the example of greatness and tact. Another one of the teachers said that Wendy was a blessing to have in the physical ed program. She was always on time and gave her best effort, regardless of what they're doing. Some days they go into the weight room and lift weights, other times they're out playing sports. And we have students that will hate one and love the other, vice versa. She would do it without complaining. Another teacher said that Wendy is an intelligent, driven, and respectful young lady and a bright future ahead of her. She came into class every day not just prepared to work, but determined to do her best. Wendy is a great example of what can be accomplished here at the lake. Another teacher said that Wendy Alvarez is a primary example of a strong young lady who stays focused on her academics and accomplishments no matter the challenges. She is humble, kind, and has a very contagious smile and demeanor about her. She's a very talented photographer, refuses to settle for less. She makes a positive impact on the lives she touches as she strives to move forward toward her goals in life. Another thing, we have a Bible club on campus, and we had a need for a president. And Wendy stepped into that spot eagerly. I'll do it. And what was nice to me, it touched my heart, was a lot of the presidents we have come in, they say, hey, we got to do this. We have to have more parties. We need to be more pizza and ice cream. But Wendy came in and said, we need to get out and help people that need help. And that, to me, tells me who she is as a person. And we bid you walk in heels and all the blessings.
Good morning, staff and students and members of the Perris Union High School District. My name is Wendy Alvarez, and I would like to take a moment to introduce my family. This is my mom and my dad. Sorry. And then our two closest friends in the back, our two closest family friends in the back, Matthew and Junior. And this is my guest teacher, Mr. Newton. I was born in San Diego, California, and lived in Tijuana to the age of 4. I've always been a struggling student and never had really good grades. I've always complained about how hard life was, and always had a bad attitude. As I grew up, I knew that I didn't have a rough life. I was always complaining about how my parents didn't love me when I got in trouble, and the attitude I would give them when I didn't get what I wanted. I realized how selfish I was. Sorry. I had 2 parents who had unconditional love for me and who gave and provided everything I needed to be successful. Now since I'm older, I have changed my ways and learned to help others and care for them. I have learned to have a more positive attitude and be more involved in school and earn the grades I never thought would be possible. My senior year was very difficult for my family and my mom, who was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in November. She has been undergoing procedures to stop the development of the cancer, and recently was admitted to the hospital due to the pain she was enduring. I remember being so nervous and sick to my stomach, but I knew that I had to be strong for her. The next day, they rushed her into surgery, and we were waiting, and my heart sank with fear that I would lose my mom. I knew it was gonna be hard for her and and I had to prepare ourselves for what was coming. 2 of our closest friends, Bethany and Junior, were always there to help us and support us through this hard time. I am forever grateful for the love and support they have given my family. The career that I have chosen is veterinary doctor. I've always had a strong passion for animals and hope that one day I could own my own nonprofit organization and help find homes and give medical attention to animals in need. I would like to thank the sponsors for coming together to create this amazing event and all they have offered each of us here today. To the rest of you, thank you for being here and believing in us and our future.
You guys can see, thank you all for having us here. The sponsors, you can see how much I love my child. Well, we've gone through some tough times, and we'd just like to thank Perris Lake High School for showing her again that she can do things. That's it, thank you.
Mr. Santos, Perris High School.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm the proud principal of Perris High School. And it's moments like these that you sometimes need that reminder of the amazing students that you have in your school to be able to appreciate what you do as a principal a lot more. And so I had the opportunity to meet Evelyn Sicairos for the Student of the Month. And although I didn't know her personally, when I sent out the invitation for our teachers to nominate students, it was overwhelming how many teachers said that she should be the Student of the Month for this month. And after 3 minutes of speaking to her, I was able to understand why. So I want to share a little bit of that with you. Evelyn, as I was talking to her, is very interested in becoming a medical doctor. And part of the reason why she wants to do that is because as a child, she went through a lot of illnesses, and her mother in Mexico would take her to doctors, and she always had really good experiences with doctors, and thought that because of so many times that she had been to see doctors, that she wanted to become a pediatrician. Her family moved, she was born here, they ended up moving back to Mexico at the age of 5. And she went to school over there all the way up until 8th grade. And then she realized that if I want to make it in this life, I really need to go back to the United States and I need to study. And I need to go back to school over there. And so she came back and was an English language learner in 9th grade in our school. And our counselors set her up to be able to take the right courses so that she can get all the graduation requirements. And in the process, she knocked it out of the park and took all the right courses and received the right grades, and her motivation kind of pushed her forward, and she ended up getting accepted to UCSD this last cycle. She really is interested in being able to go to UCSD, but one of the reasons why I was impressed by her journey was because she had to, at the age of 12, leave her mother behind in Sinaloa to be able to come to the United States and take care of this opportunity to be able to learn in school. And so she lived with her aunt. This is her brother, who has been a great role model to her. He graduated with a computer science degree also from Cal State San Bernardino. And seeing his journey and being able to see that he can be successful, I think kind of gave her the drive and the motivation to also become successful for herself. And as I was having the conversation with her yesterday, a lot of things hit me in the conversations that we're having, and the importance of being bicultural and biliterate is so important for some of our students, and especially for students like Evelyn. Not only does she have the opportunity to be able to go to UCSD, but she also is awaiting hopefully an acceptance letter from the University Autónoma de Sinaloa to see if she can get into medical school in Mexico as well. And so if she gets in, she's going to have a very tough decision to make whether she wants to go back to Sinaloa or to stay here at UCSD. But this is a testament to the type of student that she has become and the effort that she has put forward to be successful, not just in one language, but in both languages, and being able to take advantage of the opportunities that she has in both countries. As far as I can tell, just based on her, the conversation that I had with her, one of the biggest reasons why she wants to become a pediatrician is one, because she has a genuine interest in studying medicine, but two, she also wants to make her mom proud and let her know that the sacrifices that they made for her to be here are not going to be in vain, and that she's going to pursue that career. And I'm really looking forward to meeting her mom at graduation in a couple of months when she comes over, so that I can say hi to her and just tell her what an amazing girl she has raised. So with that, I would like to introduce Mr. Corona. Mr. Corona. So Mr. Corona nominated her, so he's going to say something about it.
All right. So I had the privilege of first nominating Evelyn, and then after that, it was just a chain reaction of everyone just put all her teachers and former teachers just saw all these wonderful things about her, and some were even saying in all my years she's been my favorite teacher, my favorite student to have. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will tell one story about Evelyn. This is the first time I actually met her. I had her in my freshman year. I think I've had her two times in her high school. But her freshman year, she came in algebra, and she came. I talked to her. It was pretty obvious she was limited in her English abilities, but she was very polite. So I kind of figured, okay, we'll do the best we can. So I ended up assigning homework, and I think I assigned like problems 1 through 50 only even problems, or 2 to 50 only even. But then she turned in her assignment, and it was all the problems all the way up to 50. So she did double the work. So I felt really guilty. I thought, oh man, I think we might have lost something in translation there. But so I talked to her. I said, hey, you know what? You were only supposed to do half of these. And she said, no, I like to do these math problems. and they were all right, and she just kept doing it. So I mean, you know, I didn't mind all the extra work, but I still tried to do my best to grade them all. But so at that moment, I knew we had a special student, and you know, I think throughout her high school, we got her in the AVID class. She was having to take 2 English classes to get ahead, and you know, it definitely paid off. So you know, if you look at the statistics of someone in her situation coming here as a high school student without her parents here, you know, it's not very likely that they'll be at the level that she's at. But I don't think Evelyn ever paid attention to those statistics, or she saw them and just didn't care. But I'm sure she's gonna do some great things. And you know, I spoke to you all about the importance of coming back and giving back to your community. So I mean, if she decides to go back to Mexico, she's gonna go back to her community as well too, or she stays here. But I'm sure she's gonna do just a fantastic job wherever she goes. And we're just super proud of having students like Evelyn at Perris High School, and you know, she's just a role model to a lot of other students as well too. Thank you.
Good morning. First, I want to thank my brother and my cousin for being here. Also, Mr. Corona for nominating me, and Mr. Santos. I'm gonna start by giving you guys like a background story. So, of my life. I was born in Pomona, California, and at the age of 5, my family decided to relocate to Mexico. This was a really hard moment because actually my brother decided to stay here, so the only ones that were leaving were my mom and me. At the age of 14, I decided that I wanted to come back to the US because I wanted to receive my high school diploma from here, and I wanted to be more familiar with the language. This was also hard for me because now the one I was leaving was my mom, and it was also hard for her because me and my brother were here and she had to stay over there. Currently, I want to go to UCSD, but I'm still debating to go into med school at Mexico. I already got accepted to UCSD, and I want to go into the science field because I'm really interested in becoming a doctor and being a pediatrician, and maybe further on even becoming a surgeon for kids as well. I think that the best thing I have done for my school has been being part of the Spanish Spelling Bee and being in water polo for 2 years, because this has shown me how to communicate with others, and it has really helped me with the language. And I'm actually really proud, and I have a competition this Saturday for the Spanish Spelling Bee, so I hope everything goes well. And finally, I just want to thank the sponsors and thank everyone who's here, the principal and my family and Mr. Corona, as I said. And thank you. Have a nice day.
Good morning, everybody. Wanted to, again, thank the sponsors, everybody who makes this possible. Congratulate all the other students as well on their accomplishment. This is something really great that the Perris district does for the students. And just what can I say about her? I mean, you guys heard her story. It's been, I think, a little bit challenging for her not having her parents here. But everything that she's accomplished, she's basically done out of her own drive. She's very driven. I've tried to set a good example for her. I mean, regarding school, and I'm sure she'll going back to giving back to the community, whether she studies here or ends up going to med school in Mexico. I think she is looking forward to coming back and is looking forward to making a change in maybe the state of the healthcare system, and just I think she's in a position where she can kind of take what she learns elsewhere, or take what she and apply it here. And I think she's going to be a great contribution to the city of Perris and its surroundings. And again, I just wanted to thank everybody again, and that's it. Thank you.
Next, Ms. Tomasian from Paloma Valley High School.
morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to introduce our April Student of the Month, Mr. Connor Gibson. Connor is very impressive in everything he does, but the thing that impresses me most about Connor is that he is the voice of Paloma Valley. Every morning, Connor comes to our front office and he begins our morning announcements. And every morning, you could not imagine a more cheerful, happy, motivating voice. Every morning he says this phrase, and I get to stand around on campus and listen to it. Stay motivated, Wildcats. And he shares that with our whole campus. But I have never met anyone more motivated than Connor in everything that he tackles. Particularly, he is our Battle Cat commander. I don't know who in the room heard the news. I think a lot of you I've told personally and bragged about. Our cadets went to Florida this past week and came home second place in the nation. Second place in the nation, thanks to this guy. So I'm gonna let Master Sergeant Puebla speak to some more specifics on Mr. Gibson, and then we'll hear from Mr. Gibson himself.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family, friends, loved ones, distinguished guests. It is my honor to be able to share in this special occasion with you all. And it's my professional privilege to introduce to you a young man in Connor Gibson that I consider cream of the crop. But let me be more specific on what crop. I'm talking about leadership. We're talking about next generation leaders here. In our program, we say that we're in the business of making leaders. It's a character developing program. And I've had the fortunate privilege to know this young man, along with all my cadets, a little bit more than the average teacher, in that these kids, they come to school, we practice before school, and then I have them during class, and then some of them are tutors or TA. He has a 7-period skip, but he stays in order to continue to mentor some of our freshmen and such. And then after school, we got another 2.5 hours. So I can confidently say that I have a pretty good bead on the type of young man that he is. Just a moment ago, our principal talked about the Battle Cats. Now, we're the Wildcats, but we have an organization within ROTC that we call the Battle Cats. One can liken it to, if you're talking about the Navy, and the Navy has the Navy SEALs, and the Marine Corps has Recon, and Army has, the Green Beret. Well, our Wildcat Battalion has the Battle Cats. And this young man that stands before you is the leader of the Battle Cats. Now, the Battle Cats, much like the other organizations that I just told you here, have higher standards. Our Wildcats are amazing students in and of themselves. Our cadets, I believe, are, a little bit higher. Not better, higher. Why? Because of our customs and courtesies, and we're saying sir and ma'am, and we have belts, and we put them around our waist, and they're a little higher and such, right? But our Battle Cat standards are a little higher. In order to compete, you have to have a 2.5 GPA. This young man models and is the example for all our cadets. Now, never mind the fact that this year he earned his Eagle Scout, and then in addition to, yeah, please. In addition to that, he's been accepted to Auburn University. His mom is super proud. In fact, his mom was a chaperone for us in Florida, and though she can't be here today, she sent me a text to read for him. So if you would indulge me just 1 second as I grab this on behalf of his mother. So she says, holy smokes. She says, I love him and I'm so proud of him, but it's so much more. It's hard to put into words how amazing it is that he got a world of opportunity at his fingertips. That he decides to do whatever he decides to do, he'll do it 130%. And that he developed into such a confident and respectful young man. It's been quite a year watching all these wonderful opportunities unfold for him because of what he worked to achieve for himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this young man, hardworking, an example, a model of perseverance, and is among the best I've ever had the privilege to help lead, mold, and mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Gibson.
Thank you very much. First, I'd like to say congratulations to all the other Student of the Month. You guys worked very hard to get here. And I'd like to thank Ms. Tomasian for being probably the best principal ever. It's her first year this year, and I can already say that there's been a drastic improvement in Paloma, and she has definitely helped to make my senior year the best year that I've had yet. I'd like to give thanks to Nassar Puebla, probably being the man who has had the most influence on who I was the last 4 years and who I've developed into, and I couldn't thank these two more for who I've become today. So, as you know, I was accepted to Auburn University, and that's down in Alabama, so I'll be leaving pretty much here right after graduation, but I do plan to come back, and I do plan to contribute back to Menifee and see what I can do for our school, for our drill team, for our ROTC, because I truly believe that it's been one of the most influential things that has been a part of my life thus far. I know that I've developed into a person who I couldn't even see myself becoming before ROTC. Unfortunately, my parents couldn't make it here today. They both have very busy work schedules, but it's the same schedule that them working so hard has made me want to work so hard, made me want to be motivated and disciplined, and things like that. But regardless, I feel I'm pretty independent, so I know my parents would want to be here if they could. If I can leave everybody here with one lesson, it's that you can never give up. You can never give up. I feel like a lot of people separate failure and success, but in fact, failure and success are one of the same. I feel like everybody in this room can relate to the fact that when's the last time you took one shot at something and actually got it? It's probably been a while, and if you did take one shot and you got it, it probably wasn't that difficult to do. I feel like if you want success, you have to fail. You have to fall down over and over and over and over in order to accomplish something, and that's kind of been the mantra of my life so far, is that generally I feel like I'm pretty confident going into things, but I'm humbled very quickly, and I realize that everything isn't so easy, and anything worth getting is going to be difficult, and you're going to have failures along the way, and that's expected. But just like in the movie Rocky, how he says it's not it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit, and keep on getting up, keep on moving, and keep on moving on, and making sure that you get what you work for. Thank you.
Back up, we have Mr. Bennett to close us out on our ceremony this morning.
Thank you, Ms. Tomasian. Let's see where I am on my script here. Well, as we sat here today and listened to the stories of our students, it's pretty amazing the kids that we have in the Perris Union High School District. I followed Sally's lead, and I made some notes about the students. Caitlin from Heritage, being a student athlete is a difficult thing, and to be over a 4.0 GPA is amazing. And we wish you best of luck at Concordia down there and continue your swim program. But the words they used were maturity and responsibility when they talked about you. And then when you talked about your struggle with being an athlete, and sometimes you plateau and you get stuck there for a while, and it's tough to continue to work that hard to make that next step, and you've done that, so congratulations. We wish you the best of luck in college. Wendy, where's Wendy at? Way in the back there. Wendy, being valedictorian, that's a great accomplishment at any school. And they describe you as being joyful and focused and caring, and we could see the caring come out of you when you were talking about your mom and the struggles your mom's had with her health, and we wish Mom the best of luck as the treatment is continued. And then I go to Evelyn. Where's Evelyn? Right in front of me, I'm sorry, Evelyn. Wanted to be a pediatrician, and to leave your mom and come up here knowing that what you need to do, what was best for you, is a great attribute to have that maturity, to know that I know what I need to do, what's best for me to make myself be successful. And taking Avid and being part of that program has helped you along the way. I really see you being a self-directed person and really pushing yourself to move where you want to be. So I want to congratulate you on the choices you've made and what you've shown along the way. And then Connor, wow. I was a little afraid there for a minute. But how motivated you are, and the leadership skills that you've learned and really fostered being a part of the Paloma Valley Battle Cats. And the drive that you have to have and the confidence that you have in yourself, that just exudes out of every time you're speaking. And to have the determination and the perseverance to go through and work to be an Eagle Scout, that's not an easy thing to do, and that's a huge accomplishment, so we want to say thank you for that. And getting into Auburn, that's a great accomplishment also. It's a great school. Hopefully they'll be beating Clemson this year, I'm thinking. Miss Salcedo is a Clemson grad, so so you can send her back some battle things as you work towards that. But just looking at the quality of students that we have here today, and we get to do this 8 or 9 times a year, is just awesome. And I appreciate Sally for starting this program and really keeping it going. We have Sally always sends a minute with Maxwell thing. Am I started already? He's talking. Stop right now. Okay. Let me see if I can do this right.
I'd like to talk to you on the principle of being coachable, or I may even use another term here because it's really the same, being teachable. You see, a person that is coachable or teachable, the characteristic of that is the fact that they want to learn. And the key is they want to learn. When I look at a person and I try to determine what their capacity is as a leader, how far can they go, how much can they do, I sometimes look at their ability. And that will help them tell me a lot, because what they've accomplished in their past tells me at least what they can accomplish in the present, and I can build off of that. But the question is more than just what is their ability and what have they done. The question is, what is their attitude? You see, when I look at a person, I have to ask myself, can she do this and will she do this? Can is all about ability and will is all about attitude. And a person that's coachable, a person that's teachable, they not only do the will, they do the can. They do the both. They have the ability and they have the attitude. And there's nothing that takes you and helps you reach your potential more than to utilize both. I've known people that didn't have the ability, but they had a great attitude, and so you love them, but they could only go so far. I've known people that had great ability, but they didn't have the teachable spirit and attitude, and so therefore they could have gone a long way, but they go only a short way. But when a person has both, then all of a sudden, things begin to change. I wrote a book several years ago called Talent is Never Enough.
He goes in talking about his book, so we're not going to have a book sale. But if you think about what he talked about being coachable, every one of the students today is very coachable. They may have to know the drive where they have to go, but they also had other people that had to reach out and help them along the way. Whether you're in ROTC or you're an athlete or you're an EL student and just coming to campus and doing those things, and struggling early in your high school career and then working it out and figuring out where you want to be, those are all coachable moments. And you've all taken those moments and excelled from them. So congratulations on behalf of the Perris High School District. Now we have some people here today that, as you noticed, that are on cameras and doing all sorts of fun things for the. This is going to be. They're going to take this back and they edit the program, and then it gets put on our local cable TV program, so you can see yourself on TV and see how you sound when you're talking, which is always kind of fun. I hate that myself. So we have our video crew here today. I want to introduce the people that are here doing that. First, I'd like to start out with their advisor, Mr. Randy Hughes, has been doing this for a long time. And then on camera, we have 3 of our camera people. We have Jada Santiago, which would be over here, I guess. Johnny Purcell, where's Johnny at? Johnny's up in front here. And that means Jeremy Parr is in the back there. Jeremy, thank you. And then we have some directors. They have to make the whole show go. Nick Guth, who's probably at the back table back there. Nick. Thank you, Nick. And Megan Morris. Thank you, Megan. And then our audio is on the turntables. Is Aaron Dahan. Where's Aaron? Thank you, Aaron. So they've had to work from early this morning to set up all the equipment and stuff. They'll get to eat lunch once they get all the wires rolled up nicely and to suit Mr. Hughes's expectations. We're gonna once we finish the program, we're gonna ask the students to get their bags, and we're gonna have to take a picture out front because we put that in the local paper and on the website. But I really want to thank you for being here today, being part of this program. You know, the sponsors, we appreciate you. We hope you want to come back next year and be part of it and continue what we're doing. We look forward to the Student of the Year program here coming up shortly, and that one's a great night. So students, look for the application, make sure you get it filled out properly and turned in so you can be part of that process. On behalf of Sally Meyer and the whole program, I want to say thank you for being here and have a great rest of your day.